Thank you. Thanks, SK. Came to save the day. Okay, so, oh, there's buttons down here. Oh, you guys, I'm learning so much. Okay, so last Monday we did variables, which is a letter that represents an unknown value. We reviewed how to group those like terms. We looked at how to solve for a variable when you're only given it on one side, and we looked at solving on both sides. So now we're going to use that information of those unknown numbers to look at how to solve for angle pairings. So this is more algebra. This is more geometry. But I want to show you how those intersect, because that's all of 8th grade, is both of these. So this is not a touchscreen, so bear with me as I figure out how to draw on here. So this is the diagram you're going to see most often in 8th grade when talking about angle relationships and angle pairings. We love this diagram. So within this, there are so many different sets of angles that all have one of two relationships. So it makes it super easy once you see the pattern. So if you look, this is an angle. This is an angle. Switch my color so we're clear. This is an angle. This is an angle. To further complicate the situation, you can go this way, and this is an angle. This is an angle. Oh, Ms. Humphreys, get out of here. Home, go back. There we go. Haha, you guys, I'm so good at this. Okay, and then this is an angle, and then we're going to lift up our mouse, get another color. This is an angle. And this is an angle. So you see how many different pairings and intricate little sections there are in here. It's incredibly simple once you break it down into these few things. So I did go ahead and put the link here because I really like this site, but let me show you what we're talking about. So if you look, is there a way to zoom in on the screen? Matt, is there a way to zoom in on the screen?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Like I just want to like.
Do it on your, do it right there. I'm going to click on the screen.
Ah, there we go. Okay, you guys learning. Okay, so if you look at this diagram, this is basically the exact same thing I just drew. You notice there's an angle here, 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 all of these basically little semicircles. So if you count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those eight angles make up all of these different pairings. So you'll notice we have vertical angles, corresponding, and alternate angles. So the first thing we want to do is categorize the two different kinds of angles they're going to be. I said it's one of two relationships. So let me tell you the two relationships. We have congruent, nope, complementary, always mess that up, and supplementary. So a complementary angle. So all of these angle relationships are going to be one of two things, either complementary or supplementary. Complementary is when two angles add up to equal 90 degrees. And we know 90 degrees are like the corners of walls. Goodness, that is a 90 degree is that bad boy. When you see that square. A supplementary, can you guess if those add up to 90? These are two angles that add up to equal 180. Type Ms. Humphreys, 180. So the way I remember this is C comes before S in the alphabet. So C is 90 and S is 180. Also, supplementary sounds like supper, and you want more for dinner. Welcome to Ms. Humphreys' random ways to try to remember stuff. But I hope that helps you. Maybe you'll understand. Supplementary 180 is a straight line. Do you remember that TikTok when they say do a full 180 and then they do a circle? That's not a 180. No, please don't. Please TikTok, academically correct. 180 is a reverse. A 360, you're back to where you started. So a 180 is a straight line. So all of these angle relationships are going to be one of these two things. Now we talk about the different kinds of angle relationships. The very first one you'll hear about the most is vertical. I like to call them the kissing V's or the kissing fish because they look like fish that are smooching. So let me show you up here. Hey. How do you move this toolbar? There we go. Okay, figuring it out, guys. We're gonna get through this together. There we go. All right, so we see here. Why is it mad? I don't know. Why is it mad? You guys, I made the screen mad. Ah, I don't need it to go. Oh goodness, you guys. I just want it to go up. Okay, you guys, this is the important part of teaching, is that when someone shows you something, they need to explain how they did it and not just do it for you, because that's not how we learn. Okay, complementary we see here is what we just discussed, two angles that equal 90 degrees. And remember, we know that it's that corner. You'll see that box indicating that it is 90 degrees. You see here supplementary. Supper is more, you want more, that's 180. Which is a straight line. So those two angles are going to add up to be 180. And as a reminder, all of these angle pairs here are going to be one of these two categories. So let's see what the angle pairs are. Vertical, kissing V's, two pairs of angles formed by intersecting lines. So if you think about an intersection, those are two lines that are crossing. So if we draw these, we come over here and draw our vertical angles. We're gonna draw our favorite little chart here. Oh. And if you notice, I'm gonna get a bright color so it looks like I'm highlighting it. This is a little V, and this is a little V. These two intersect right here. So this angle right here, and this angle right here, those are vertical, and they are the same. They are the same measurement. So if you see here, intersections, vertical angles are equal to each other. So if these two right here, 105 and 75, make up a straight line, then so does this. So these two angles are the same. The kissing fish or the kissing V's, because then you remember vertical, are equal. They are the same degrees. Same degree. All right, so that's one type. We have vertical. Then, so here's a great practice problem here. Remember, I love this, or I like this article for this, so feel free to come here. It's linked on the page. You'll see it gives you, this is a very common question. You will absolutely have this problem like 600 times, I promise you. The easiest way to attack this is that 65, you see the V, so you know Y is also 65. Well, if you know this is a circle, 360 minus 65 minus 65, that's going to give you that. The way they did it is x plus 65 equals 180, because this is a supplementary angle. So then you're at a variable, x plus 65 equals 180. Well, we know we're going to subtract 65 from each side, and that's going to mean that x is 115. Well, this is a vertical angle. X is a vertical angle to z, which means both of those are 115. So just with one measurement, I'm able to figure out all four of these measurements. And that's only knowing one relationship. So the thing of this category is honestly, if you just know like one or two of them, you can usually knock it out of the park. The place you're going to get tripped up on this is like when they ask you to name them, because there's alternate interior, alternate exterior. You get the complementary and congruent mixed up. It's the definitions. This is honestly a flashcard unit. So I don't like that being next. I'm going to do corresponding next. Okay, so The next kind are corresponding. Well, if we remember from language arts, we know that corresponding is the match or similar, the same in a different situation. So like your go get the corresponding notebook for your class. So corresponding are going to be the angles that match each other. So again, let's draw our favorite model. We love it so much. Oh, I don't like that, in fact. How do we go down? Ms. Humphreys doesn't know. There we go. Draw, try again. Okay, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This is a rough one today, I know. We are struggling on the bus. Just shows you everyone has stuff to learn. Okay, so the way I like to look at this is that there's two separate boxes here. This and this. Do we all agree that there's the same things in those boxes? There are 4 quadrants, there are 4 sections. These are both an obtuse angle, which means more than 90. These are both acute angles, which are less than 90, right? We both agree on that? Hold on. How do you X out of stuff? I know I couldn't find the right button. Okay, so notice there are 2 boxes that are the same. We notice this top left is an obtuse. So these two, this top corner right here, this angle and this angle are corresponding, which means they are equal. Okay? Those are both the top left of that box. Those are both equal. So if you look at that obtuse, then look at the other obtuse. Well, we know that these are vertical angles, and you already told me vertical angles are equal. So this angle and this angle are corresponding, which means they are the same degree. They're the same measurement. So what do you think the next ones are? Oh my goodness, you're right. Top right and top right are the same angle measurement. And what does that leave us? Bottom left and bottom left are the same angle measurements. There are 2 boxes, top left, top right, top right. They all go together, so corresponding. So these angle measurements are equal. So top left equals top left. Top right equals top right. Bottom left equals bottom left. Bottom right equals bottom right. Corresponding. Haha. Okay. Now that you see that we have this kind of box, these box situations, let's look at the ones that are next to each other in that box. Sorry guys, I'm just scrolling here. Okay, vertical. Okay. Let me check your standard, because that's what we go by, to make sure we have which definitions they want you to have. Hang tight. Okay. Corresponding angles. Okay, same side and exterior. Okay, so let's build our house. Thank you for your patience. All right, let's see if we can go down here. All right, so we have vertical and corresponding. Now, Let me get this whole thing so I can draw here. All right, we're gonna do a big one. We're gonna build a house. Okay, so if you look, there is sides that are exposed, right? Like this whole outside here, all of this is open, right? This is all open to the outside. So what do we call things when they are outside? Exterior. Remember, like you can go buy exterior paint. Y'all, this is gonna take a second. Exterior. Exterior, okay? So if that's the outside, exterior equals outside. Don't you guys miss our TV? I do. We had a smart TV, it was really dope. They would always want to do Punnett squares because they could touch the board. All right, so the exterior is the outside. That means logically that these sections here would be the what? Oh my gosh, you're so smart. Thank you. Interior. Interior crocodile alligator. You guys, that's what my brain feels like right now. That's just it. Interior. Okay, which means inside. So you have different pairs in here, right? You have same side and alternate. Well, if we're on the same side, we are on the same side. Can't make that much more simple. So let's look at this. We have exterior and interior. Then we have same side. Same side. And then we have alternate sides. So let's look at that. Alternate exterior. Well, I know alternate, they're going to be on opposite sides, and I know exterior, they're going to be outside. So let me draw another example over here, and we'll do the specifics. Literally, you just read what it says. So alternate, or let's do alternate exterior. Well, exterior is outside, so I know I'm in one of these 4 boxes here. And it said alternate. So I have 2 options. I could do these alternate sides. It doesn't make sense to do this side because that's next to it. And it doesn't make sense to do this side because it's next to it. Alternate, it only makes sense to do the alternate corner, the opposite corner. So those are alternate exterior. And you notice you also have another pair of alternate exterior right here. Those are both on the outside and the opposite, which is what alternate exterior means. So let me label that alternate exterior, which means opposite outside. And that's exactly what we did. All right, now, if there's an opposite outside, do you think there's an opposite inside? That would make sense, right? So we know that when we're looking at interior, we're looking at these 4 angles right here, and they said opposite. So I'm gonna go this one and this one. Those 2 and these 2. Inside and opposite. Now, a pink and a blue equal 180. So what do you think that means the 2 blues are? Does congruent make sense? Does it make sense for those to equal the same thing? I think so. Okay. Next. Oh, sorry, let me label that. Interior crocodile alligator. Sit inside. Okay. And let's go. We did corresponding, right? And I will, I can't get into my Google Classroom right now, but I will find the notes I made on this and upload them because they are actually like well designed and color coordinated. So we're going to look at alternate exterior here. We see that it's exactly what we said. It is the outsides and they are on opposites. They are equal to one another. Alternate exterior. Then let's see if they have alternate interior. We have this, you can make the Z, which some people like to do. I just like to do like the like make a figure eight. You can make a figure eight here, which I like, but it's up to you. And so you can see here that those are equal to each other as well. So you can do the Z or you can do a figure eight to figure that one out. It's completely up to you. But those are both equal to each other. So we have equal. Equal to each other. Okay. So if we have alternate exterior and alternate interior, well, as opposed to alternate, we have same side. So we have vertical, corresponding, alternate exterior, alternate interior, same side interior, same side exterior. This is what I'm saying where it gets really wordy, but if you listen to what it says, it's the same thing like in science where you have those root words and it tells you exactly what it's telling you it is. It's saying same side exterior. It literally means same side outside. So it is telling you what it means. You just got to pay attention and listen and not get bogged down and stressed out by the vocabulary on this unit. All right, so let's look at same side same side exterior. Ms. Humphreys is struggling today. All right, exterior, we know we're on these angles. And what do you think it means to say same side? Oh my gosh, you guys are so smart. It's the same size of this vertices of this angle right here. It's the same side. So it's gonna be that one and it's gonna be this one. Those are gonna be the same color, or excuse me, the same. Hold on. So same side, same side, same side. Now, let me ask you. If these two are excuse me. Let's see if this explains it better. Somebody's just struggling to explain this. Same side interior. Oh, they don't have same side interior out here. Okay. Let's think logically. If these two angles equal 180, and this angle equal 180, we know these two are equal, and we know these two are equal. Do you see where, like, if you find the pattern, you can, does that make sense? I'm not explaining this well. I'm gonna get a better video definition for same side exterior. Okay, and then the last one we have is same side interior, which I imagine you guys can draw by this point. Okay. So we are on the inside. So we are here. And we are on same side. So it's going to be this one and this one. This one. And this one. Look like really bad pictures of birds. So there you are, which is same side. Okay, so these are all the different angle relationships that we can have. Now, using this information, I'm going to try to find a way to do a sample problem on here. I'm going to find a room. Okay. We'll just go down, figure it out. All right. All right, if I start with the angle measurements, if I say that this is 65 degrees, nope. Why can't that be 65? Great question, because that's an obtuse angle. Obtuse has to be more than 90, so we're going to say that this is 115 degrees. Okay, I'll walk you through this one, and then as per usual, I'll give you one of your own. This is a longer lesson today because there's so much vocabulary. All right, we know that this is a straight line, right? Well, theoretically, if Ms. Humphries could draw, that would be a straight line, okay? So we know that this entire angle has to equal 180. Well, I know that I already have, that was terrible. I know that I already have 115 degrees. So if I'm having 180, I'm just going to subtract the 115. But if it asks you to write an equation for this, you would say 115 plus the x, which is a variable, because right now this is technically unknown. It's not labeled. We don't know. We have to figure it out. Equals 180. And then we know we do to the left what we do to the right. From variables, we know that 115 is positive, so we subtract it from each side, just like we did last Monday. Subtract 115 from each side. And 180 minus 115 is going to equal 65. And I feel 80% confident about that. 70, 80, yes, that's correct, 65, which means this angle measurement is 65 degrees. Now, you want to know where those tricky little math teachers are going to get you? Is you're going to say the answer is 65. And they're going to say 65 what? 65 is not your answer. X equals 65 degrees is your answer. I promise you, I don't know who it's going to be, because I don't know the 8th grade math teachers like that, but someone is looking for you to not put X equals degrees. That is the easiest way to lose points right there. All right, so now all I did was figure out one angle measurement and I can do the rest. All right, let's start with the easiest, corresponding. Well, this top left is 115, which means this bottom left is 115. It says this top right is 65, which means this bottom right is 65. All right, so I'm good here. Now where do I go? Well, I see that there is a V here. There's a V here, which means its corresponding V is a vertical angle, which are equal. So I know that this degree is 115. So again, I see an angle right here that's attached to another angle right here. 65. Kissing V's are congruent. So now, again, I can go back to corresponding. Bottom left is 65, bottom left is 65. Bottom right is 115, bottom right is 115. And literally with one angle measurement, I figured out all others, the other 7. That's all it takes. And so you really only need to know those 2 rules. Is you need to know, you can get through here with vertical and corresponding, but it's also important to notice that those alternate exteriors, 115 and 115, 65 and 65, are the same. Those alternate interiors, 65 and 65, 115 and 115. These same side exteriors, 115 and 65, remember those equal a straight line. So what is it called when they equal 180? Supplementary. Supplementary. And notice our same side interior, 65 and 115, that makes a straight line, which is, again, supplementary. So think interior, or same side, supplementary. You sit at the same side at supper. Supplementary. Okay, so whew, I know it's a lot. It's a lot of definitions. It's a lot of angles. It's a lot of pictures. It's a lot of coloring. But I promise you this is super intuitive once you get it. So I'm going to leave one example here. We're going to walk through one. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to try it on your own. I'm going to leave this one up here so you can see it as a guide. And then as soon as I get into my Google Classroom, I will post a practice worksheet with the notes, the same as I did last week. And then Thursday, I don't know what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna figure it out. Ah, what did I just do? That looks kind of cool, but I don't know what I did. Whatever. All right, we're gonna say that this angle right here, this obtuse angle, is gonna be 98 degrees. Throwback to the 90s. And I hope some of you know that Nick Lachey was originally in a band called 98 Degrees. And he had it tattooed on his arm. All right, tell me the other 7 angle measurements if the bottom right is 98 degrees. All right, let's walk through this, and then I will take any specific questions. If you truly just have absolutely no idea what's going on, that's totally fine. This is an entire unit. You're not going to learn this in 36 minutes. But I'm going to post the notes. I'm going to post some practice, and if you are interested in continuing to work on this, I'm going to post this article that has different worksheets on it that you can practice. And then it will be on the YouTube channel. Again, this is just to introduce you to 8th grade content. I'm not expecting you to master this. I just wanted you to walk in and be like, hey, I remember that kind of. So you have a little jump start. So you're not starting over from scratch. And also learning over the summer is good for your brain, because if you just turn off, remember you're wasting this muscle. So that's my spiel on just tune in so that you are using your brain and you're learning something new. So when you walk into 8th grade, you have some idea what's going on. All right, let's break this down. Our bottom right is 98. Our very first thing we know is that bottom right is 98. Check, corresponding, got it. All right, well, I can also do some vertical angles here. I see that this is highlighted. This right here is a V. I can go right here with this V, and I can do 98 degrees here. Shout out Nick Lachey. Okay, and then I see top left is 98 degrees, which means top left is 98 degrees. All right, now we know that everything else, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 of those angles are all going to be the same measurement. We only have to figure out what that measurement is once, and then we can just fill it in. So how do we figure out that measurement? Well, we know that this is a straight line, which equals how many degrees? Beautiful, 180. I feel like Dora the Explorer when I do that. Equals 98 I'm so sorry about this pen, guys, plus something. And x is a variable because we don't know. So remember, the symbol in front of the number is its positive or negative. There's nothing here, so we know it's positive. Opposite of addition is subtraction. Take 98 from each side. Oh my goodness, yo. This looks like I'm writing with my right hand. Okay. Then if I have $98 and I spend 98, I have no dollars. I bring down my x. And if I have $180 and I spend 98, I have $82 left. 82. Now, I'm not talking about dollars. What am I talking about? Degrees. Make sure this is your complete answer. Remember, someone's trying to take points for you not writing x equals. I promise you. So now I have my other measurement, and at this point, I know it's literally the rest of the boxes. That's it. I only have to figure out two numbers. This is one of the simplest situations. What's going to mess you up, or not mess you up, excuse me, y'all are brilliant. Nothing's going to mess y'all up. You're going to absolutely kick this class's behind. What's going to show every other classmate that you're a genius is when instead of it gives you a number, it gives you an equation. And you're going to, instead of 98 degrees, it's going to say x plus 7, and then this is going to give you another equation, and you have to know that those equal 180. Those equal that that's an obtuse, things like that. But that's going to be either for another lesson or when you get to 8th grade. But this is very vocab heavy. It's a lot of coloring. I will post the notes and a practice. Again, it is just an introduction. You are not meant to have this mastered or like take a test on it. It's just here to help you. Okay. Stop recording.